What's going on, guys, Messi here and welcome to a brand new video, and welcome to a bit of a different FIFA 20 video from me today. Normally I either do like transfer videos or whatnot, but I've played a lot of FIFA 20 so far and I was struggling to find a formation I really liked until I went to 3 at the back to a 3-5-2. I do want to point out that I'm not a top 100 player, so if pros say otherwise we'll have different instructions, obviously I'd probably go them first. But for me, previous FIFAs like 17 to 19, I got elite pretty much every week I played. But yeah, I've been struggling a bit so far on FIFA 20. But just before I do get into the custom tactics, if you did find this video helpful or you enjoyed it, if you could leave a like rating, it would be greatly appreciated. If you're new to my channel, press that subscribe button and also press the bell notification next to it so you never miss an upload. And finally, in the comment section below, what has been your favourite formation so far on FIFA 20 Ultimate Team? So this is the team that I'm using for Weekend League currently, and my results right now, it's currently 3 o'clock on Friday I'm recording this, and I think I'm 6-0 or 7-0, whereas the previous weeks, for some reason, the first 10 games I've been struggling quite a bit. Now, I'm not going to say 3-5-2 is the best formation, but for me personally, so far it's the best I've used. And obviously it's a 4-3-3 right now, I'll show you in game in a second. But yeah, the 3-5-2, it offers a lot more than my previous 4-1-2-1-2, the variation number 2. So the first thing you want to do is change it to a 3-5-2 formation, and in game, this is how my team does line up. The 3 at the back does consist of Van Dijk in the centre, Hernandez on the left hand side and Kyle Walker on the right. It does have a lot of pace about it, and that's something that is very, very key for this formation in my opinion. Pace being pretty strong this year, it's important to have quick players at the back. The 2 CDMs I've got are going to be Sissoko and also Gini Wijnaldum. I was hoping to get his inform or a red version of him this week, but unfortunately didn't manage to get that. The cam is going to be Raheem Sterling, who despite having like, was it 2-star week for, it really isn't too much of an issue. The strikers are Rashford and Kylian Mbappe, who turn out to be a very good duo up top. But the most important positions in my opinion for this formation are going to be left midfield and also the right mid. For me, I've gone with Inform Atal, who I've used a lot by the way, and he's got 5-star week for 4-star skill moves and incredible stats across the board. The left midfield is going to be someone I got from icon swaps, and that is Roberto Carlos, who so far has been phenomenal. These matches so far have been in FUT Champions, but I have played a few friendly matches as well just to warm up a little bit, and are still undefeated. But this position, like the left midfield and right mid, they get forward so much and they provide a really nice outlet that with a 4-1-2-1-2 for example you don't actually get. There is one downside: if you get caught on the counter, they might be out of position. So go back to how the team started and how I get the chemistry. Everyone is on full chem apart from Atal on 8 chem, and players obviously haven't got loyalty just yet. But if I go on to custom tactics now, I do want to point out that tactics on this game, they really depend on how you play. Your play style, it kind of dictates how much you have to change. In short, what I should have said is that custom tactics in my eyes are very much user based. You can copy someone else's and it doesn't really work for you. So it might take like say 10 games to play around a little bit, but you should eventually find how you want to have your team set up. So as soon as kickoff does come around, I go to attacking, and obviously it's a 3-5-2. And these are really, really basic. For me, I like it on balanced. I don't really find drop back makes me play very well. I know the meta right now obviously is drop back 1 depth, but I probably wouldn't recommend that with 3 at the back as you have a lot of defending anyway. I've gone with 3 width as I'm not really sure why I've gone with that, but Roberto Carlos and Atal do play pretty much on the touchline and get up and down the left and right flanks. Depth is on 5, so not too deep, definitely not 1 depth. And the offensive style of things is also fairly similar because for me, last year I played on balanced and I think pretty much the same as what these are. But I've gone fast build up. The width is on 4 again, but despite what that picture says on the right hand side with the players not really too far out, they really do. They offer a lot of width for you even if you're on 1 width. The players in the box, corners and free kicks is just up to you. But obviously if it's your main formation at 0-0, I wouldn't have these too high. The next tab is going to be formation. So again, 3-5-2, just like I showed you before, that is how the team goes in game. And like I mentioned with left mid and right mid, they're a very, very important position, but as are the back three. My players are like Kyle Walker 90 pace, Van Dijk 77, Hernandez over 80. They've got to be fairly quick. But now we have got instructions, and in my opinion, these aren't as user restricted as the tactics part, because realistically, you want specific positions to be doing specific things. And what I mean by that is your left mid and right mid, you want them involved as much as possible. Now for the goalkeeper, I haven't changed it whatsoever. I didn't even know you could change your goalkeeper instructions, to be honest. They're saving outside the box. Is that like sweeper keeper? Yeah, it is. So that might be a decent thing to put on. But the ones I've got are my defenders. So these, the centre backs, is stay back while attacking and normal interceptions. I think out of all the positions, the CDMs are definitely the ones you can change instructions the most on. Because, for example, some people like having one DM sit back completely, not get involved in the attack. Whereas the other player, they're a box-to-box midfielder. But because of my instructions for my left mid and right mid, I've decided to keep these two back on their attacks, though sometimes they do overrule the instructions and hang around the edge of the box. But left mid and right mid, these are the most important. I keep saying over and over again, these right here are so important to how you play. Now, I think for both of them, come back on defense is a must. It does require players of high stamina or have a sub on the bench you can replace them with, because they will get tired. Now I do want to say a massive thank you to a person on Twitter called Marmo. He helped me on Thursday night, like the basic instructions for 3-5-2, and so far so good. They've worked an absolute treat, and that's how I've got the best out of my fullbacks essentially in the 3-5-2. So defensive support, come back on defense, chance creation on stay wide. That is probably why it overrules the width tactic before. Get in behind, it means they make the overlapping runs, which is so key. Stay on the edge of box for crosses, because they might get a rebound, or instead of being in the box as a short player, it's better having someone that can pick up a second ball. And for interceptions, it's on normal. And it was also recommended that you can do this as well. With left mid, I've got on stay wide for chance creation. Whereas right midfield, I've got on free roam. So Attal, he's not really stuck on the right hand side. He can go into cam sometimes. It can be a bit of a negative if he goes out of position and takes over Sterling. But for most part, he does seem to be in the right place at the right time. Again, come back on defense, so important. But so far, the stamina for these two, I think they've both got 84 in game, which isn't crazy high, but they don't really tend to get too tired. The most annoying thing is after the game is over, if you start on 99 fitness, they'll probably go down to 93 or 92, as does the cam at Raheem Sterling. He's on basic defensive support, so does get back a little bit. Get into the box for crosses because you want an extra player in there. Free roam, so it means he can be on the left hand side, right hand side, basically there to be an option to pass to, and normal interceptions. Your strikers then, both these are the same instructions, balanced width, though I was tempted to change Mbappe to stay central, which is right here. That could be an option kind of thing. And get in behind. Getting behind that defense obviously is massive for getting attacking chances, and they're both very quick, so they can do that. Normal interceptions and also stay forward on the defensive support. So they're the base instructions for my team, and I do have also different variations if I go on to ultra attacking, for example. I haven't really tried this right now, so it might work, it might not, but constant pressure, fast build up, that's if you're chasing a goal late on. And for instructions, I don't think I've changed them really yet. Actually, yeah, get in behind, stay forward. Then for these two, the DMs, they're on balanced attack rather than stay back while attacking. The other one I've got set up is going to the defensive side of things. So if you're 1-0 up, say for example in Foot Champs 85th minute, and you want players to sit back a little bit and keep possession, this might be the go-to option. Now I have got on drop back. I might change that because it isn't really tried and tested just at the moment. But if I match this to the very first set of instructions I showed you to balanced, I might as well stay on that. But for instructions, it looks like this. Now, if you're holding on to a lead, you want players to be kind of like assertive rather than just running forward crazily. So Roberto Carlos, come back on defense, and realistically, I should change the what is it? Oh no, that is the right thing. So you want these players to be defensive. You want these two. You want them staying back. And the same applies to strikers really, because basic defensive support means they will drop back if necessary rather than stay forward, although you can put one cell and stay forward getting behind just in case you get a counter-attack opportunity. The positives for 3-5-2 are the fact that you have a lot of different passing options. If you're, for example, if you're using a 4-1-2-1-2, at least for me, if I had the ball with a centre midfielder, it was pretty difficult to pick out someone that was open or making a good run, whereas 3-5-2 is the complete opposite. If I get the ball with Wijnaldum or Sissoko, both Roberto Carlos and also Atal, they're making runs directly into left and right hand side. That's a great thing to have. Your cam drops deep if necessary, and your strikers are trying to run in behind as well. The negative about 3-5-2 is that it's a 3 at the back formation. If you struggle defensively, it might not work as well. But still, I think it's worth a go. Even if you just use 3-5-2 as the formation, if you need a goal, it's probably the best option. My experience so far is that the 3-5-2, despite being like attacking formation somewhat, it has been extremely good defensively. I've not conceded many goals, and I've been dominating most matches I've played. And someone did point out on Twitter that if your opponent does have their attackers like left wing, right wing and strikers on stay forward, or in a 4-2-3-1 the cams and strikers stay forward, it might make the counter-attacks difficult to deal with. So at that point you change formation or you go into the defensive variation. So what I'll do now is show you some of the goals I've managed to score using the 3-5-2, how my attacking play works with the fullbacks or the wingbacks getting forward, and how the attacking trio of Mbappe, Rashford and also Sterling, how they get on. So if you did enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like rating, press the subscribe button if you're new, and also in the comment section below, what is your favourite formation so far on FIFA 20? So thank you for watching this video and enjoy the highlights.